This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 482 for the week of Monday, August 14th, 2017. My name is Zach, and I'm the only one here with you at the moment because we have a very special panel live from Otakon, where we talk about the 20th anniversary of One Piece in our panel that we titled 20 Years of One Piece. In this panel, I am joined by my co-hosts Ed, Steve, and Alex, and we also have Twitter sensation Casey, also known as Minovsky Article, the animation director for Rick and Morty, Brian Newton, and our brand new editor-in-chief, Kelly. So we hope you really enjoy this episode. Remember, it is recorded live, so the audio is not quite what it usually is on the One Piece podcast, but it's a really great panel. We packed the room at Otakon, I'm happy to say so. Thank you, all of you guys out there who came. I also want to give a special shout out to Valkyrie on Twitter and Huntress Fan for all their help with prizes and putting together the panel and brainstorming and all that. All of you guys were such an amazing help, and it was just so much fun being at Otakon, seeing all of you guys there. We're going to talk about that more next week when we do our manga chapter and a lot more. Oh, and there's one more thing that came out of Otakon. We interviewed the voice actor for Portgasti Ace, Toshio Furukawa. We will have that interview for you within the coming weeks. Please stay tuned to OnePiecePodcast.com and all our social media. We also have a very exclusive and special episode coming to you on Patreon this week. We have our full-length One Piece film gold commentary with everyone, just about everyone you hear on this panel. And we watched the movie, we are tired, we are out of it. It is hilarity ensues. Let me just put it that way. So if you want to hear that, you have to subscribe to us on patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast for the $10 and up tier. And please stay tuned for our Toshio Furukawa interview. We will announce when that comes out on our social media pages. So without further ado, why don't we get into the panel? Okay, everyone, welcome to the 20 Years of One Piece panel. Good morning. All right, so for those who don't know, we are the One Piece podcast. We've been doing this podcast for around 8 years now, so since about Impel Down. My name is Zach, I'm one of the hosts, and...
My name is Ed.
And...
my name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
And we also have some very special guests with us today. First, Casey, you might know him as Minovsky Article on Twitter, if any of you guys are out there. Want to welcome him? Yeah. How's it going?
You're too kind.
We have Kelly, our brand new editor-in-chief. No, they're not as popular. And we have the animation director from Rick and Morty, Brian Newton, with us. Yeah.
After that pop, let's be for Rick and Morty.
I'm a meme! Piccolo Rick! Piccolo Rick.
There we go. Plug this one crossover.
I was about to say, that'll date this panel, then I realized it does say 20 years of One Piece.
Yeah, we've already dated it.
Literally already dated it. So, I won't spend too long on this, but this is how you can follow us. This is all the great work we do. One of the people on our podcast has met Oda, has competed in a competition. We'll talk a little bit more about that too. This is him with Oda's signature, the happiest moment of his life. So, yeah, I think we could probably just get right into this.
Yeah.
For those of you who are new, Ichiro Oda is the creator of One Piece.
Yes. And he's extremely reclusive, as we'll go through, I'm sure. So, One Piece is now over 875 chapters or so. I think we're just getting 875. 86 volumes. We just got to episode 800 last week. Not to date it.
No, it's okay.
We have 12 movies, or 11, or 12, or 16, something like that.
I think we have almost 10 TV specials as well.
Yeah, well, you could count those if you like. 400 million copies sold, and this is Alex here swimming in every single volume.
This was taken last night.
Or was that an intimate moment?
No, this is every night for Alex.
There's a couple other pictures that we can't show you.
We know we chose not to show those. It also is the Guinness World Record winner for most copies published by a single author, and likely sold. I'm not sure if there's one for that as well. So it is insanely impressive.
And it's not ending anytime soon.
No. Actually, for those of you who are new to the series or haven't read it yet, and may find it a little daunting, let me give this to Casey.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. Yeah, so I started One Piece like a year and a half ago, and I've managed to catch up in that time, so I know... Truly, one of you. But I know that there's this idea that One Piece is this daunting mountain that's impossible to climb or catch up to at this point, and it really isn't. Like, the manga especially is such a quick read that if you just have access to the volumes, and you can find that at your local library, that's how I started. You go to your library, the digital editions are readily available, legally available. And yeah, it's just, there is a point in this series, I would say it's probably between maybe the introduction of Dracula, Mihawk, and Baratier, like very early on, up to the Marineford ending, which is just, that just breezes by. It's impossible, it's about how fast and how quickly that goes by, and you really miss it when it's gone, so savor that first experience, but you can do it within a year. It is possible.
Yeah, Casey.
Even less than a year. I got one of my improv coaches into One Piece about at the end of June. He started reading it at the end of June, and then after every arc he would watch it, and he just finished the Dressrosa arc.
Yeah. So one of my fellow board artists on Rick and Morty, I got into One Piece. He is just past Ines Lobby.
Nice.
Yeah, after like 2 months.
Didn't Wes Archer's also a fan, right?
Yeah. Wes.
Also known from The Simpsons, like,
yeah,
he's seasons of The Simpsons.
He's been watching with his son for at least like 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, we had him on the show a year ago.
It's really magical when a father and son can enjoy a series.
Yeah.
My parents don't know what the hell I'm into.
So the One Piece phenomenon is also huge in Japan. I cannot understate how big it is in Japan.
It's the biggest cultural phenomenon in manga and anime since Dragon Ball.
Yeah, if you've been to Japan, then you would have definitely seen One Piece.
I may say it's even bigger than Dragon Ball in Japan.
Okay.
Ever was. I may say that, but who knows if that's true.
Yeah.
So there was a Kabuki show. They're actually rerunning it, I think, at the moment, or going to be running it again in the future, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, Kelly knows.
Yeah, Kelly went to the Kabuki show in Japan.
I did, yeah. So it's going to...
Eat the mic, Kelly.
It's a Marineford arc version of Super Kabuki, and what struck me the most was how they combined the traditional elements of the Kabuki play with that arc, and also that the main character played both Luffy and Hancock. So if you picture those Amazon Lily scenes conversing with each other, he's literally flipping between the two characters on the stage. And what was so nice about it was such a big mix of ages. And there's a woman next to me, maybe an 80-year-old woman in a kimono, and when the end of it came out, she was like screaming A's. She was like, A's! And I was just like, oh, but that's kind of like, the whole thing with One Piece. It really just goes across all different kinds of generations. But it's going to be happening again in Tokyo in October, and in April next year in Osaka. And if you're able, it's phenomenal.
There are also stores where you could buy just One Piece merchandise all around Japan. They also have it, Kelly, correct me if I'm wrong, it's in Thailand, Hong Kong, I think they just opened one.
And there's going to be one in Shanghai.
In Shanghai.
Shanghai, yeah.
So, and there's a bunch of them around Japan, and they have awesome stuff, which many of us are wearing at this moment.
You see the Tokyo one in our documentary that we did.
Yes, which will be back on soon.
Nice.
And there's also a restaurant. Kelly, you want to talk to us about Sanchi's restaurant and your experience there? Don't get into too many details.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best. So at Universal Studios, every summer they have a Sanchi restaurant, and this thing is harder to get into than some of the Michelin-starred restaurants in Japan. It's insane. The tickets go on sale, like, they're gone. It crashed the site the last 2 years when the tickets went on sale. But essentially they have, Sanchi cooking for you, and they have a bunch of other characters that interact with them. And the thing that's really interesting about it is they use recorded voices, so they're basically just lip syncing to you. But I'm not gonna lie, I totally fell for it. Okay, it's no secret that Sanji is my best boy. I love him to death, and thank you, Sanji. Yes, and, he comes to the table and he's doing his little thing, and every photograph of me, which reason I didn't put any on Twitter is me doing this. Because I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. So it's a lot of fun.
I gotta go.
It's probably one of the coolest events, correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly, since, again, you were just there. Besides the Sanji restaurant, which of course you can't be, because Sanji is cool, yes, is the Tokyo Tower event. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Not to give Kelly too much of it.
So they did a series of 20th anniversary events at the tower. There was a sort of like a press conference on the actual day of the 20th anniversry, and
we'll talk a little bit more about what they announced at the end. Yeah.
And then they had 2 sets of 20th anniversary art shows that they had there. So a lot of different manga panels and different things to see. So it's really nice to see that they keep adding variety to the tower.
So we also have a few videos here about just how big of a phenomenon it is in Japan, and they're all ridiculous. So why don't we get started? This one's the least
Together at last.
Capitalism at its best. They only get better. They only get better.
Oh, this. この切れ味、さすが5枚だ。くそいいな。これがクロスフィットだ。お前ら、いつもと違うな。これ使ってみろ。俺もクロスフィットに変えるか。2ヶ月で使い切り、フルチャレンジ。クロスフィットを買うと、俺たちのオリジナルグッズがもらえるぞ。3個パックもクソいいな。手に入れろよな。クロスフィット。
Kelly.
Okay, so I have one of those.
Trafalgar Law for the last time shaved those sideburns.
So I have one of those, and I will say it makes you very smooth. Trafalgar Law did not show up to tell me how smooth I was.
And then, now this is all in English. You won't understand a word. This is the best one.
The greatest treasure flying the seas. Once you have it in your heart, you will be fulfilled.
Again, this is all in English.
The masked man. What is this? Sounds there on the mask. It's a band. I can do it and like. Check out its detailed design and its presence. This is awesome. And yet, it is huge. Wow, 30 centimeters long. The large size easily gets a win. Long line treasures, product number 1, the masked band. Coming in a music around the country. Well, citizens, we are all to see. Hold your heart and shout. This is a band. This product has a sales attack. So please refrain from using outside on windy days. The wind may lead you through the journey.
You say not to hold it
Long line treasure.
So there's that. You can buy a pen.
Real quick too, my favorite detail about that Sanji restaurant is that he's only polite to female customers.
He was very, very mean to my friend.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, before we get to the last video, I do want to mention this is our good friend Greg. This is his actual reaction after winning a round, or just at meeting the.
No, this was when Oda addressed the contestants on the show, and I think he specifically mentioned Greg. It's like, I know you've been doing a lot of research, and I don't think
the dreams have come true.
That picture doesn't do enough justice to Greg.
No, really.
For those of you who don't know Greg, Greg did a site in the early 90s called the Ultimate Dragon Ball Z information site, which then led him to see One Piece, and then he became a One Piece superfan, and now he's working for Shueisha, doing columns on the One Piece.
Shueisha, who owns the One Piece column.
And just to clarify, that was a televised One Piece trivia contest on a show called Hokotate. So,
like an extremely popular primetime show in Japan. The last clip, Casey, can you please set it up?
Oh wait, is this?
Yeah, this is from you.
Okay, so how many of you are familiar with the TV show Hannibal? Okay, so as you may know, there is a scene in season 3 where Hannibal is referred to as Will Graham's nakama, and this is his rival / boyfriend that he's trying to eat. So
we don't personally approve the word, but let's watch the clip.
How do you know Hannibal?
One could argue intimately.
Nakama? It's a Japanese word for very close friends.
Yes, we were nakama. Last time was fine.
Someone on that Hannibal writing crew has clearly been cruising.
There's no way you know that word unless it's... One Piece has also been in a lot of other media. One of these, our good friend Brian worked on.
What? I did?
Teen Titans Go, not literally that panel.
It's a show I work on. It's called Teen Titans Go. Everyone hates it, but thank you. Yeah, one of my co-director friends, who also I got into One Piece, actually put this into Titans. He wanted to do the entire crew, but only Robin was allowed. So yay! One Piece mixing into pop culture.
Robin, not the Robin from One Piece, but the Robin from Teen Titans.
Yes, the Robin from Teen Titans. Sorry for clarification.
Although Robin should have dressed as Robin.
Yeah, and there's another one there in The Simpsons where we cross into more mainstream popular American.
Yeah, that's like real. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
There are other series you may or may not recognize there. Any of these other? We have Gintama, Assassination Classroom.
And professional wrestler ACH comes out in One Piece cosplay.
Oh yeah, that's a sketch that Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe, did a couple years ago.
She's a fan of the show. She's a fan of the show, but she's behind. Admittedly, I don't want to call Rebecca out, but I will.
Yeah, and pro wrestler ACH dresses as Luffy from many different arcs as part of his ring entrances. And also, New Japan wrestler Minoru Suzuki is such a huge fan that he calls himself Minoru D. Suzuki.
And he shaved his head. He made his hairstyle into a devil fruit.
Yes.
He's also the worst person ever. Story.
Kayfabe.
Okay, so let's talk about One Piece, and what we're going to do today, usually in our panels, we'll talk about the current stuff, but we're going to kind of talk to you about the stuff around One Piece over the last 20 years, since that's the name of the panel. We got there, it took 15 minutes, but we're around there. So first, I want to talk about what happened before Oda started the series. And believe it or not, for those who are familiar, the crew might look familiar here, but this is the original outline for the Straw Hat crew, as made by Oda when he was 17, I think.
And this is
1995.
Right, and I think this is around the time, or a little bit later, he was an assistant on Rurouni Kenshin.
Which will also, he snuck stuff into Rurouni Kenshin, including this cannonball.
I love that Brooke has always been there.
And you know what? I don't know if I like that chopper.
I kind of like that chopper. I love that chopper. I love he's got like a huge cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
He's like the Joe Camel of choppers.
So cool.
Yeah, and it's funny if you look on the look at that sketch, the shipwright, the original shipwright is supposed to be like a little catfish type thing.
All the way on the left.
Yeah, so kind of interesting how that evolved into Frankie.
There's another sketch in the corner there that was another revised version, I believe. Kelly, you read more Japanese than me, but
Brooks got his hat.
Yeah, Brooks got his hat.
Just let that be an inspiration to you. Don't get discouraged by your first drafts, because you could be 80 volumes deep into your best comic series at some point, so just keep trying.
That's true. These are some original sketches also. Brooke on the left, Chopper on the right. I don't remember who that is on the bottom. And there's that eye patch story too, which I don't know.
That's Frankie the prisoner. Remember, originally the shipwright was going to be a prisoner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a while since I read this.
Well, the significance of the eye patch story is one of the biggest, most stereotypical pirate thing is having an eye patch, and not a single character in the series has an eye patch yet. And that's true.
Yeah.
He's been holding out intentionally.
Yeah, which means somebody back home is going to have an iPad.
Somebody really cool.
It's going to be someone extremely lame.
Strawberry.
And this is the first comic book that Oda came out with. Alex, do you want to?
Yeah, Wanted is a compilation of one shots that Oda did, some of which were in Jump, I believe. It has the first or second draft of Romance Dawn, which is the first chapter of One Piece.
We'll talk a little bit about that.
It's got monsters.
Just to say about monsters, it was this is a short story featuring the samurai Ryuma from Thriller Bark, and this is sort of a fairy tale of the prehistory in the world of One Piece. So.
There were dragons in it.
Yeah.
And we also talked a little bit about Romance Dawn, Alex, you touched on. There were actually 3 original versions of the first script.
Yeah, One Piece heavily, initially in his first drafts, had magic as a proponent, which would have been interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm only sad to lose that one pirate, the Hexagon pirate, because that design's amazing.
So this is the first version of Luffy. There's going to be tons of differences. Second version of Luffy. Third version of Luffy.
But Zach, I can't tell the difference.
Well, you have to look closely, Alex. This is the first version of Eiichiro Oda, who is the author. This is from Wanted on the cover page of it, and there's very rarely get to see his face, which is why I included it.
I'm not sure if there are any pictures from this century of him.
Likely.
Yeah, Oda tries to keep to himself. Normally, he'll draw himself as an avatar, a person with a fish for a head.
He's working 99% of the time, so...
Yeah, he has no time to get his picture taken.
To be fair. So let's talk about the actual series. When it started in 1997. How old were you? I don't want to call you
I was in 7th grade. I was going to be starting 7th grade in 1997.
I was in 5th grade.
Yep.
2nd grade.
I'm the old man. I was in high school, 9th grade.
Yeah, 5th grade. I'm saying.
Yeah. How old were you?
Let's see, I think Wild Wild West came
Well, here,
out.
applaud if you were not born when One Piece started.
Oh no.
Don't clap for that!
Kids don't know what cassettes
are. Yeah, so do you guys want to talk about the first era of One Piece? It's the first 5 years, which include a lot of good stuff. We're mostly going by manga years. The anime started in 99.
Yeah, so 2 years after the hit. Now...
Well, if you're referring to the anime, once you're going into this, I don't know how many people know this, but before the anime was produced, there was like a short,
an OAV.
Yeah.
Yeah, an OAV called Defeat the Pirate Ganzak, and the one voice actor that I remember notably is the guy who does Zoro's voice in that is the guy who eventually ended up being the voice actor for Bellamy in the current running.
And also the voice of the pirate Ganzak is Norio Wakamoto, voice of Cell.
Yeah, and many others. Y'all know Norio.
And he hasn't been used yet in the One Piece anime.
Yeah, it makes me angry.
Do you have a clip?
No, I don't. But I have I have a look at the movie 1 if you want to.
Yeah. This is the trailer for the first one.
It's different. It's traditional animation, not digital, so it looks a little different.
2000年春アニメフェア新世紀大海賊時代海賊王を目指す一人の少年がいたコミック史上最高の人気作品ついに登場伝説の財宝をめぐり最強の敵に挑む
海賊王に俺はなる
未来の夢に向かって大冒険が今始まる
映画新登場ワンピース We are
You have to understand.
It looks like a 90s anime.
Yeah, Toei was just getting off of Dragon Ball at the time, so Mouth Laser Blast was all the rage in the late 90s.
Fun thing about the first 3 One Piece movies, they were double billed with Digimon movies because they were both so short.
And the first one is actually the only one that has hand-painted cells.
Yeah, that's why.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I want to play that because it looks so. I kind of wish it looked like that.
It's good looking. 40 minutes long, but it's a good movie.
So these first 5 years have, and I think all of our opinions, some of the best arcs in the series. Arlong Park, Alabasta,
Skype came
out. Everything before Alabasta, basically. Drum Island,
Logtown.
Yeah.
These are all the arcs that got me into the series, but not yet. Through 2001?
Yeah.
I still had not. I was still a DBZ guy. I had no idea what One Piece was yet, but
Yeah.
It's great.
I actually watched,
I recommend it.
the first episode of One Piece I ever watched. I was vacationing with my family in Greece, and it was on television. They had a dub. One Piece is actually humongous over in Europe at the time, too. Like, it didn't...
Oh yeah, what was it called in Greece?
Drake and the Search for the Treasure.
I
Everybody
didn't
has
realize it's
different names.
Drake, supernova.
Yeah,
all
well,
everything's Drake.
they will never get that far. I think it was canceled somewhere around Alabasta.
And I know all of us could sing better than the person. I remember there being a very bad singer.
There's
There's
a Greek version of the first One Piece opening. We Are. You can find it on YouTube pretty easily. It's not great, but it's better than what we got in America.
Oh, speaking of, shall I just start right with that?
Yeah. No.
There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
My fortune is yours for the taking, but you'll have to find it first. I left everything I own in one piece.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for One Piece, the treasure that would make their dreams come true.
Yo!
Don't give it up, Luffy! Don't give it up, Zoro! Don't give it up, Nami! Don't give it up!
Here's how the story goes. We find out about a treasure in the Grand Line. There's no doubt. The pirate who dies on it, he'll sing, I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king.
His name is Luffy!
That's Monkey D. Luffy.
King of the pirates! He's made a rubble!
How did that happen?
Yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum. His name's alone, just like a samurai and a L-A-D-Y. Nami's not shy. Usopp's doing that marksman thing. Sanji's cooking, Chopper's doctoring.
The word! Set sail for One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Gago, set sail for One Piece.
Don't applaud that. Can you believe it took a long time for this to find an audience in America?
Yeah. It's remarkable that the series has recovered to the point it has after this.
Yeah.
I really want to talk
Now
about this.
forget about that.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about this time period specifically because around the end of 2002 and the beginning of 2003, Shonen Jump came stateside to America.
All right, let me go back to that.
And that was my first introduction to One Piece. So remarkably, Chapter 1 was my introduction to One Piece. And at the time, it was like, hey, this is kind of cool. It's like cartoony. It's like Disney, but I'm here for like Dragon Ball Z and like Yu Yu Hakusho and everything else. But
Yu-Gi-Oh!
But the series really picked up. Of course, I like Yu-Gi-Oh!
I miss getting that huge manga phone book in the mail.
Yeah.
I bought it at the grocery store.
So
What's
like
the subscription?
Like the manga did fine in the States, and then eventually it was announced that the One Piece anime was coming.
Getting acquired by
Via
who knows
4Kids.
who? Yeah.
4Kids Entertainment. And I was a Shaman King fan at the time, so I was like,
Well, at the time, I knew 4Kids from Pokemon.
yeah, and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, and
Finger guns and
So I was
What'd You Shove Me For?
Singing the national anthem.
so it was
Oh, I should have put that in. Oh,
Shut up, Zach.
So it aired. It aired sometime in 2004. The first One Piece dub, and it
And
was
we saw that.
I was in college. It was right. It was the morning after a party. One of my friends at the time, he was came over. He's like, "Yeah, let's see this show that you like." And then as soon as that rap happened, he's like, "This is the series that you're trying to get me into." And I'm like, "No, I swear to God, it's different. It's not supposed to be this way."
nothing like that.
This was the darkest timeline.
Yes.
For us, at least. Because
But sometimes you can make good, out of bad. So this is what Tsunami did with it.
Monkey D. Luffy wants to become king of the pirates. The only problem? He can't swim. But he's gathered a crew. And together, they'll seek the legendary treasure of Gold Roger. Things are gonna get a little strange along the way. Who is that rubber boy? One Piece. Premieres Saturday, April 23rd from 10 to 11 p.m. Don't let the straw hat fool you. Only Tsunami.
Yeah, that actually...
Because they don't let anyone talk, like, more than one
Well, the thing is, though, it's airing on Toonami, like, a year later on Cartoon Network, kind of saved the series a little bit, but believe it or not, critically, the One Piece English dub just didn't do that well.
No. For those of you who never watched it, the One Piece dub, how do I put this? I'm sorry, the 4Kids dub took massive liberties.
Yeah, we should probably have explained if the video was on.
It's not going too deep.
Yeah, summed it up for you.
Any instance of blood was painted over. They changed the guns that the Marines used into squirt guns.
No one loves a lollipop more than Sanji.
Yeah, Sanji's got a lollipop.
Although that did come back in the actual manga later.
And Belmare went to the dungeon.
Oh, and Zoro became Zolo, which is still in the manga. So
Run.
Yeah, boy in suction cups. That was a thing that happened in the 4Kids dub.
Can we like
Smoker became
I don't want to talk about this.
You spent way too much time on the 4Kids.
But eventually,
in 2007, so we should probably
2007, a good year. The license was handed over to Funimation, who dubbed. Don't be too opinionated, Zach. They were known for dubbing Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, and just made a more truly original adaptation of it, and we're still getting DVDs to this day, so it all worked out in the end. But that, I think people will still reference that rap, and we didn't do anyone any favors by reminding everyone of it. So
in retrospect, maybe not.
One Piece had a hard time making an impact here, and I think part of it's due to that dub.
Yeah,
no,
it's part of the history.
Almost exclusively due to that dub. Yeah, because at the same time, Naruto and Bleach was finding footing, but One Piece couldn't. And One Piece also had a tougher road, because much like Dragon Ball in the original, it's harder for certain fans to accept a more cartoony style. And that's a part of it.
And it made it way more cartoony.
Yeah, and 4Kids didn't do it any favors.
No. So this period wasn't just about 4Kids, so let's please get away from it. This is also in manga when Skypiea, Water 7, Davey Backfights, and Islami.
Yeah, this is a big boom in the One Piece community in general, this era. Because of the Shonen Jump manga, the US Shonen Jump, a lot of people got into One Piece. I found it through other means as well, and there was Arlong Park as a website that I was admin for a long time, and I think it's one of the biggest One Piece communities on the internet currently. I don't know, it's been a while for me, but during the Water 7 arc, that was a good jumping on point for a lot of people. Water 7 arc remains one of the most iconic, one of the most emotionally training,
definitely,
and has some of the coolest action.
Water 7 and Enies Lobby, that's a great test if One Piece is for you, because if you don't get any enjoyment out of that arc, you might not find it anywhere in the series.
Or you might just not have a soul.
I feel that way about Drum Island as well. I think if you're not weeping at the end of that. There's a lot of arcs like that. There's a lot of crying in One Piece, though, with reading and in it.
So during this time, there were also One Piece feature films basically every year. At this point.
So Chopper was the mascot character. There was a movie for him.
Yeah.
I think he was popular.
He still might be, sorry.
Movie number 3, Chopper and the Kingdom of Strange Animals.
I really like movie 4.
This was the first feature length.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
This is the first one that wasn't attached, didn't have a short or a Digimon movie attached to it. This is a Dead End Adventure.
And movie 5 was advertised exactly correctly, if I remember.
Yeah, movie 5 is awful. It's not good.
And speaking of Digimon.
This one is
Mamoru Hosoda, who you all might know from The Girl Up 3 Times, Summer Wars, The Boy and the Beast, the first 2 Digimon movies. He directed a One Piece movie.
And it's a strange Lovecraftian horror movie as much as it is a One Piece.
This is an incredibly misleading poster.
Oh god, no, it's nothing like that.
It's basically a horror movie.
But it's such a departure, and also just such a fantastic. It's a fantastic departure. It's a great movie.
Yeah, for many fans, I think it's the number one just because of how different it is, how beautiful it looks. It's a gorgeous movie.
I promise more pictures of Oda too, who is the author. These are from Greg's website, thegrandline.com/onepiece.html. So these are from an interview. Alex, you remember them?
Yeah, it's from from a book called the One Piece Animation Logbook. It's sort of like a book that contains like info and screenshots and stuff from the first, like I guess 2 years of One Piece up until Alabasta. And
So-
it has a cool interview.
Yeah, this is just a little excerpt from it. He's talking about, and he talks about this a bunch, how when he draws it kind of feels like the characters are moving on their own. There's also a very good political statement here, which I won't mention too much. And then also, I think it's around this time he mentions he thinks he's halfway through. I think it's around 2007. To remind people, we are in 2017. And we are not done, because this would be exactly when that would finish. Is there anything else about this period? Good? Okay, so let's move on to the next 5 years. It's a fun period. So we got, to go through them, Thriller Bark, Shivari Archipelago, Impel Down, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, and Fishman Island. I should have had everyone plot for each of those and see which one. And the time skip, yeah. And also a crossover with Dragon Ball. Yeah.
This is a good period too to bring up that like Oda considers every new island a new amusement park to play in. He's used that phrasing before, and every arc has a very distinct visual thing it brings that none of the other arcs have. And this is a really great era to see that in play because every arc is very distinct visually and very distinct thematically.
Some of his best artwork for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a, he's doing his best work in the manga. It's just really, you know, I'm trying to censor myself, but good panels and also hilarious moments. There's no context to this. No context to either.
Well, why don't we talk about the other feature film that came out?
Oh, yeah. So we started our podcast back in 2009, so it was during this period, believe it or not. And this is the big thing that came out. This is One Piece tends to come and go in waves in popularity in Japan, and this was the crest of a new one here. Yeah, you want to talk about Stronghold, Steve?
This was the first feature film that Oda wrote. He wrote the screenplay for it, which is the story for it.
Yeah.
This was his biggest involvement. Because usually with the past films, maybe he designed like the villains and other supporting characters, and kind of just leave the rest to Toei. But this was a big deal. Because I think at the time, One Piece films, they're coming out every year, and last year were just retellings of story arcs, and met some mixed reviews. So he was kind of he said like, hey, all right, if we're gonna do a movie, let's do it really good. Let's do this big. I want to be involved in it, and thus we got Strong Worlds. And this was in Japan. Just One Piece just blew the hell out of it.
This was technically movie 10, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
This is the 10th movie.
I highly recommend it. I think it's a great distillation of One Piece in a movie. So if you don't care about being spoiled about certain things and you want to kind of quick entry level thing, I think it's definitely a good option. I mean, I think we all here would recommend just reading the whole thing from the beginning. I think that's the best. I know it sounds weird for an 86 volume series, but I think that's probably the best way to get into it.
If you were dragged here by a One Piece fan friend and you're hearing all these numbers and thinking, I could never catch up to this, you don't have to watch every movie.
No. These are we're talking a lot about ancillary stuff here too.
Yeah, so, I mean, just the manga itself is the experience. You can just read all of that and be as caught up as you need to be and explore the rest as you see fit.
Yeah. Or if you like watching anime, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the interview where he said it was halfway through, but it was not. Anything else about 07 through? Well, there was also a time skip. That's a minor spoiler.
Well, this was also because the first year we started the podcast, 2009. Remember, at the end of the year, the latest manga volume that came out in English was the last volume of the Alabasta arc.
Yeah, so they did a speed up.
Yes. Viz did a speed up. Every month they were releasing 4 volumes to catch up to the current volume. This was also the introduction to the One Piece simulcast.
Yeah, that's why we started the podcast.
That's right. Yeah,
it was a big year for One Piece in America.
In America,
it was this was the turning point because we had a new English dub. Viz and Funimation were trying to get caught up with.
If you are a One Piece fan, I'm sure a lot of you guys joined in this period,
for those of you who don't know, what is the simulcast?
Oh, so you could watch, well, at this point, it's in a lot of places, but you can watch One Piece when it airs, or right after it airs in Japan, like an hour after, I think.
Like a half hour, like
on Funimation site, Crunchyroll.com.
Back in my day, we used to have to wait for anime.
You used to have to get bootleg Hong Kong.
Yeah,
DVDs.
back in my day, I had to go to an import store and get a crappily soaked VHS.
3 episodes per VHS.
Hong Kong bootleg DVD.
What was our little part called in that again?
Dragon Zone.
The Dragon Zone. Were there any other names you remember?
Roof, Sunkissed, Lysop, or
No,
Liar
Crew.
They're naming the crew.
Yeah.
The cast of
I don't recommend that as a starting point.
Yeah.
No, don't pick up bootleg VHSs from a decade or two ago.
Yeah, that was my first experience. I just kind of had to like figure out what their names were and what they were saying. The bootleg Hong Kong DVDs were not great.
And we're not, going detail by detail into the 20 years of manga because we would be here for at least the whole weekend. But Marineford was a really transformational moment in the series, to put it lightly.
We all remember where we were.
We all remember. And we won't get into the details of what happened there, but it was all, it was just a real turning point in the series. That probably was the halfway moment in the story, probably not year-wise, but, and...
It's like a culmination of everything that happened.
And Oda promised the end would be like 50 times more amazing than that, so he better. So why don't we talk about the stuff that's happened since the time skip, excluding Fishman Island, unless you want to talk about Fishman Island.
That's okay.
Dead silence in the room.
Yeah.
That one guy loves it.
Yeah, Brian will defend it.
Oh yeah.
I'll defend it
Yeah,
I'll defend it for its themes and but it's a broken kind of story in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I won't go more. We've done this before.
But, I mean, it's a good example of how you don't need to love every little thing about One Piece, and it's still, I mean, we're obviously all still fans, even if we have some qualms about certain arcs.
That arc is still better than a lot of other arcs and a lot of other series.
Yes.
By miles, so yeah.
Yeah,
We're so much better than other series.
let's be honest here.
I'll fully admit, I think Fishman Island was the first kind of misstep in Oda throughout all the years, but geez, at this point, he's doing it for so long, man, it's only natural.
Yeah, you can't knock them all out.
Mm-hmm.
No. So this is a great period too. I mean, these are the Straw Hats as they exist today and as they existed as kids. We never get to see
Chopper has changed so much.
It's like a different reindeer person.
That's like Chopper's first day of school. He's got his little, he's got a little.
And that's Sora's first day of school, bringing his sword. Son, you can't bring that in here.
I think that Chopper got cuter as he got older.
That's what I
That's a whole other discussion. And yeah, go ahead.
At this time, like One Piece was kind of just coasting. Strong World was a huge success, and it was just maintaining its popularity. Sales were good. Just more movies were coming out.
I think this has been, so we talk about waves, this has been the biggest One Piece wave by far. I mean, that's why the Guinness World Record got broken. It has beaten every series you could think of, by miles. Even Attack on Titan or something that was also a phenomenon in Japan, it beat by a tremendous amount even. So it's in almost every home in Japan.
I think the only book series that it's comparable to in terms of sales and books published is Harry Potter.
And Batman and Superman, I think, are the only two comics that currently beat it total.
They had a 70-year head start.
In time.
They don't beat it monthly anymore.
No. So, yeah, I want to talk about Casey's favorite character.
Yeah.
You had a
Caesar Clown, yeah.
Casey, what did you think of Funkmaster? No.
It's a good arc.
We also have opinions on Dressrosa, so you can listen to the podcast. We go through that, I'm sure, a while. Wait, I'm actually curious about this. Clap if you are a fan of Dressrosa.
See?
Okay.
We'll just move right along.
Clap if you're not a fan of Dressrosa. Okay. Good to know.
Right. So during this time, Strong World was such a popular movie. And spending 2 years to make a movie for One Piece became a trend. They continued on with Film Z.
I highly recommend. I love the hell.
Film Z is the One Piece movie that's not about the Straw Hats. I recommend it to anybody really.
The Straw Hats are in it.
They're in it, yeah, but it's mostly about the villain, and I think that's a really good cornerstone for.
I think this was originally the movie Oda wanted to do during the time of Strong World, and I think he came up with this idea where he's like, this is too sad, I just want people to have a good time, let's just do that. And then when Strong World was a big success, I'm like, okay, now I want to make people cry.
This one did make me weep at the end. It's a really good movie it's like a character piece really about the villain.
Well, didn't Oda say explicitly that his goal with this movie was to make fathers cry?
No, you're thinking of the Chopper movie.
Okay.
If you're not ugly crying on or off the page, you're not reading One Piece.
Yeah. If you're not making the crying faces that are on One Piece, it's just the ugliest cries. These are also, this color spread Oda drew for One Piece, and it's every single named Marine character to show up.
At the start of their Marine careers.
Yeah, so from, I guess, 20 years before, or some amount before. This is what we all used to look
Young Bird is every single Marine on there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Any more thoughts on that?
Following that, of course, is Film Gold, which came out this year. And it was the first...
we have a lot of prizes related to Film Gold, including a newspaper, I think, that came out during that time.
The newspaper's cool. It's got every single One Piece character on the back of it.
A magazine.
Oh, I love that.
Film Gold came out this year, or last year, I'm sorry.
Last year, this year here, right? I think it was the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it came out this year. First film since what? Movie 8 had a small little theatrical run.
Yeah, the Alabasta.
Oh, movie 8.
The Alabasta movie.
Otherwise, this is the first time, this is like really the first time One Piece had like a theatrical release in the States. And I was like, all 3 times.
Mayumi Kojima did the theme song.
Which you listened to coming in.
You heard as you came in.
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne did the theme song for
Film Z.
Because Oda is a gigantic Avril Lavigne fan.
Yes, and one of them was a Nickelback cover.
She's married to the Nickelback guy.
They're married.
The other one was a Joan Jett cover, which I actually really like.
Yeah. No, that's a good song. It's a good song. So why don't we talk about what we love about One Piece a little bit.
Yeah.
First off, this is what Oda's desk looks like, and he works. We talk a lot about Eiichiro Oda.
That's my desk.
He is a really difficult. He works constantly. He doesn't sleep. I think he eats.
I'm not kidding. He sleeps like 3 or 4 hours a night tops.
No, 2.
2.
It's awesome.
So Kelly,
not good.
Because if anything, the creator, the mangaka for Toriko, did a one-shot recently talking about his history with Oda because they're really good friends, and there was a manga panel of him and Oda like having a beer. He's like, man, like you don't understand. 2 hours of sleep makes you at puts you at your best ever. It's like, and Toriko's just like, no, man.
It's because he's punch drunk.
But that was in the American Digital Shonen Jump from about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That looks like where Geppetto makes Pinocchio, which is...
If you ever wonder why Oda takes 1 week off every month, it's because it is unhealthy for him to work as hard as he does at the pace that he does.
But he doesn't care.
It's the Oda sleep. It's the Oda sleep.
Yeah. So we can talk about.
I think Jump told him you need to take a week. Yeah, you need to get more rest.
Yeah, because the manga legend Shigeru Mizuki, who made Gegege no Kitaro and a bunch of others, there's a famous quote from him that says that I used to get 8 hours of sleep every night, and all of my colleagues made fun of me and said I didn't work hard enough, and now they're all dead.
Know how to bring the room up, please. These are some of the best lists we put together. So what we did, if you don't agree with these, which even I don't think we agree with these, is because we combined all of our crew and we all voted and ranked them together. So these are, the arcs we like, the backstories we like, the villains, the openings and the endings, which if you just want a little taste of One Piece is a good way to feel like some, little Japanese music. And what were you going to say, Steve?
No, I was just gonna say this is subjective. This was
Extremely subjective.
Well, you can listen to our podcast.
Yeah, we talk about our favorite arcs for 6.5 hours. We did that in one sitting.
Okay.
We split it up. So.
We're already scaring people. It's like, oh, it's about 80-something volumes long, and our podcast is about
And
6 hours
we've
long.
done 480-something episodes of our podcast, so there's tons of content. I mean, the thing that I think we all love about One Piece is that it's scary to get in, but once you're in, it's like insatiable. You always want more of it, which is why we made the podcast in the first place. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming for One Piece. Let's start with the 20th anniversary trailer that Weekly Shonen Jump released.
Yes, girl, run home to read more One Piece.
I'm gonna win this marathon for Luffy.
I honestly thought that girl was gonna stop running and just take a volume.
I thought she was gonna run and wind up in the world of Escaflowne.
I don't understand that reference.
So I think the first thing we should talk about is this. This is an official image from the One Piece official website. There will be
the next story arc.
The Straw Hats go to Hollywood, and they get rejected.
It's the weirdest island possible.
It is a weird island. You two are from Hollywood, right? So there's going to be a live-action series for One Piece in the future. Or I think we know when.
I feel the dread in the room.
Yeah. It's by the people, and I hate to break this to you as well, that are doing a Cowboy Bebop live-action television series.
And also, they were the producers of Prison Break, if anyone watched that.
So
there's some optimism there.
We're all afraid of Johnny D. Luffy.
But you know they can nail the Impel Down arc, so.
But you knew this was coming, by the way. Someone's got to tell Japan that's not how our flag works. One Piece is going for 20 years at this point. I think we knew this was inevitable. But I know we've had some history with some bad live-action adaptations.
Dragon Ball Evolution. What?
I'm not saying it's going to be good, but at this point, all we could remain is optimistic. And if it's bad, we still have 20 years of One Piece.
Also that it's not a movie, it's a series, so that bodes a little better, I think. There's no way you can condense any bit of One Piece into a 1.5 hour long movie. Like, it's nuts.
If you don't know, by the way, Oda's dream casting for Sanji is Steve Buscemi.
No, that's who Sanji was based off of. He was based off of Steve Buscemi. So I guess that, yes, it would be his dream casting.
Hello, fellow pirates.
Mr. Pink, right there. So, yeah, if you're worried about how they're going to treat your favorite arc, if they get to your favorite arc, that's probably good enough. Because they're probably going to do a good job. Well, yeah, because if it keeps running through, I assume people are like the biggest fans of the first arc, because that's the arc I'm waiting for.
My philosophy is if you really like something, and then somebody makes something based off of the thing you like that you never asked for, you still have the original thing, so who cares?
Whole Cake Island is going on in the anime right now, as we mentioned. That's available on Crunchyroll, Funimation. Yeah, big fan. I think we're all huge fans of Whole Cake Island already.
Yeah, it's very
It's also going on in the manga. You could legally read the manga every week for just pennies. Like, how much? It's $25 a year, I think. It's translated by Stephen Paul, who is on our podcast every week, and he goes through all the little intricacies about what he translates. And that's available at shonenjump.biz.com or shonenjump.com. Highly, highly, highly recommend you support Oda and all his lack of sleep. These are also interesting. We have one of them here. We have volume 1 to give away. Alex, do you want to go through what's the contents of this?
God, there's so much. This has a whole bunch of crap in it. It has each one of these volumes has an interview from Oda. Part of the Ace novel is in this, right, Kelly? Yes. Yeah. There's a novel about Portfest the Ace. There's a copy of Luffy's wanted poster in the bag.
There's an 8,000-word interview with Oda.
They are in Japanese.
There's an instructional page from Yamato of Dragon Gate Wrestling of how to get buffs like Zoro.
That's true. There's illustrations by other authors about, I think there's about the Sabo Ace Luffy story, so that's cute.
Yeah, it's a really cute thing, like an alternate thing. There's each one of these volumes also has a series of music tracks that Oda likes a lot too. Which
that's probably that's the part I like the most. There's a lot of cool stuff.
It's packed full of stuff.
The second volume is out now. I can't find it, but it's available on Amazon Japan, which is apparently very easy to use.
It's super easy to use.
And this is the next arc that's coming. Wano, which is based off of Japan, and Oda has been looking forward to this since forever. I mean, as Ed, you talked about in Wanted,
Samurai Ryuma. This takes place in Wano, and it's like Oda was trying to get to, he's trying to build up to his full powers as a manga artist before he took on an arc based on Japan. Because it really seems like he's been looking forward to this his whole career.
And this image is actually, they're doing an event in Kyoto in October, so we're all hoping that means in October we'll be there. Or who knows. And last but not least here, One Piece is in all of these magazines to celebrate the 20th anniversary. I can't read Japanese, so I can't read all of those, but it's taking over.
Yep.
Spur, yes.
Taking over all the
17.
covers.
Yeah, there's like models dressed up in Luffy's outfit.
Oh, I saw that.
So before we go, we have prizes to give out.
So many prizes. Those of you
get your raffle tickets out.
Before, I want to remind everyone where they can find us. That's all the way at the
Yeah, because if we run out of time, we're probably going to give some of these out later at the meetup and things.
Yeah. So please have your raffle tickets at the ready.
Please support us on Patreon. Patreon.com.
I promise this podcast. Like Andy likes panel.
Yeah, I heard the raffles and it. Let's cross that road.
Instead of talking about that, let's just do it.
Let's do it, Kelly.
Yeah, I heard they did it too.
You have it, right? Yeah. Thank you. First off, thank you for Kelly.
Yeah, thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause for liking One Piece.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, One Piece.
And thank you for supporting the official release.
Yeah. This has been episode 482 of the One Piece podcast for the week of Monday, August 14th, 2017. We'll be back next week with our manga recap of chapter 875 and a double anime recap of episodes 801 and 802. Until then, remember you could always contact us at onepiecepodcast.com, facebook.com/onepiecepodcast, twitter.com/onepiecepodcast, the same one for youtube.com, onepiecepodcast.tumblr.com. We're also on SoundCloud, where you can subscribe to us and get the latest episodes first at soundcloud.com/onepiecepodcast. Please subscribe to us on Patreon and get exclusive episodes, including this week, our full-length commentary of One Piece Film Gold. That is at patreon.com/onepiecepodcast. We'll also have our special character polls, discussion, and a lot more that'll all be this week again at Patreon. And you can also contact us at our phone number 347-497-MAJI. That number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime. We'll be back next week with our regularly scheduled episode. Until then, my name is Zach. See you, everyone.